everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Kat, and for today we're going to be taking a look at the new Happy Hour collection from GlamLite. I did end up picking up two of the palettes. We have the Margherita palette and we have the Dirty Martini palette. The collection did end up having two additional palettes. There was the wine one and the chocolate martini palette. They also did have a lip collection that had 5 different lippies that were like in these wine bottle type things, and then they also had 2 highlighters that were pina colada and mimosa. And so we're going to be taking a look at these 2 palettes because of course I had to pick up the Dirty Martini one. We all know how much I love a good grunge, and let's just look, like, this whole packaging, like, from the front legit looks like a bottle and then has the same type of wrapping that you would get on like a wine bottle. So I haven't even touched them because I just wanted to show you guys that on camera because I thought it was just so cool. And like, I mean, they went in with the packaging this time, so really excited to check this out. So then this is what the Dirty Martini palette itself actually looks like. It has a picture of the martini glass and it says genuine quality guaranteed. And then when you open it up, this is the color story on the inside. It's got a decent range of greens on there. I think that it's not bad. A few blues, some silvers and golds in there as well. A couple burnt rose shades. So it's gonna be interesting to check this one out. And then the Margherita palette looks like this and says premium tequila. This is definitely out of the 4, the rainbow palette. Lots of pinks, some red, green, orange, yellow, blue. One that looks like almost like it could be a duochrome purple to pink shift. So just all the shades. So I do want to swatch at least the shimmer shades for you guys before we do some eye looks. And so I'm figuring we'll do one eye look on my right eye and one on my left where we use each of the palettes. But I do want to swatch the metallics to see if they are similar. Even though I think that the matte formula is really, really good and definitely very pigmented, I think that the metallic shimmer formula is very similar to that of the Beauty Bay palettes. And not that that is a bad formula. I like the formula, but I just feel like the texture and the quality of the metallics from GlamLite are very similar to Beauty Bay. So we're gonna swatch the Dirty Martini palette first. And so first shimmer that we have is on the rocks. It's very pretty. Like a nice mint green. A little bit of turquoise in there as well. Then we have a really nice gold shimmer that is just a splash. Also really nice. And yeah, that formula is feeling super duper similar to the Beauty Bay one. It's also just as nice as far as the level of opacity on there. Very nice and smooth. So yeah, both very nice. Then we have more of a chocolate brown shimmer that is chilled. Very nice. A little bit more warm toned of a brown on there. Looks like it might have a slight reddish base to it. Then we have another kind of goldish metallic, but this one comes across like it might have, yeah, definitely some olivey green in there as well. And this is high class. And it looks like it kind of goes back, and it's definitely not nearly as orangey as this one. This is like a olivey, bronzy kind of tone. I wonder what it's gonna look like in comparison to some of the other more green ones, because we definitely have one that looks really olivey green at the end. So it'll be interesting to see how this guy pulls in comparison to that one. Then we have probably what's gonna, as we know, be one of my favorites, is Gin, and this is a really nice mermaidy blue. Very pretty. Then we have Vodka-tini, which is another more limey green metallic. Very pretty. That is definitely just almost just a green. So you're starting with how green this one is. You can kind of see how this guy is a little bit more bronzy rather than just outright green. Then we have Crisp, which looks like a combination between evergreen and silver. Yeah, definitely more of a deeper, grungy, evergreen shade does have a little bit of a brown base to it, and so that's part of why it's even more so grungy, but very, very pretty shade. Really like that one. And then the last one is going to be Olive Lover, and this one is going to be kind of the one to let us know, yeah, this is your grungy green. So in comparison to this guy, we can see how this one is pulling more brassy, bronzy, yellowish in comparison. Even though next to this guy it looks green, I would say it has more yellow tones in comparison to just this outright olivey grungy tone. So now we're gonna move on to the shimmers in the Margherita palette, and this is gonna be super colorful. So first up is going to be Fresh Pineapple, which is a really nice yellow. Yes, very, very nice. That is a super pretty yellow. And in comparison, it really shows how this one kicks more orange next to that guy. Then we have Presidente, which actually looks kind of similar to one of the shades in the Dirty Martini palette. Yeah, they're not quite the same. So this guy is ever so slightly more bluish. This one is ever so slightly more green. So as I come in close, you can see that ever so slight difference on there, but they are very similar upon like initial glance. Then we have Spicy Jalapeno, which is very nice green shimmer. So you can see just an outright green in comparison to the other greens, that they are all significantly more grungy in the Dirty Martini palette in comparison to just an outright green shimmer. Then we have Pink Lemonade, which is a very nice pink. Very pretty. All right, so I mispronounce this word almost every time that I try and say it, but I'm gonna do my best. Blue Curacao? It's blue. Very nice oceany blue. That is a really pretty blue. I like that a lot. Definitely, so you can really see how this is more of like an aquamarine type shade in comparison to that blue. Yes, man, I can't get over how similar these two are. Like ever so slight difference on there, but those two are really similar. Then we have Tequila Gold, which is more of a copper brown. Yes. Ooh, and she is very nice. That was like immediately opaque. Very nice and smooth. All right, that is a good metallic. And then the last metallic is Prickly Pear, which is that one where I'm not quite sure if it's pink or purple. It's definitely not as pink as this one was. So it looks like it's a pink base with some purple like glitter specks on top. So there you can kind of see how you've got that purple speckle on top and then just the pink base. So it's not really a purple, it is more of a pink shade, but just ever so slight, that instead of having gold shimmer on top like this one does, this one has purple shimmer instead. So that is all of the shimmers across both palettes. The question then becomes, do I want to do two different eye looks or do I want to combine the two palettes into one eye look? All right, I think I am going to do two different eye looks, and so we are going to jump right in with the Dirty Martini palette first, and so that's gonna go on my right eye, and then we will use a Margherita palette on my left. I am debating though if I wanna try and keep them somewhat on the same color scheme, where it's like I'm using the greens and blues in this palette, and then I'm using the greens, blues, and yellows in this one, I think is kind of how I'm gonna put this together. All right, so on the inner portion, I'm going to start off with the shade Green Olive, which is probably the most limey green out of all of the shades. We're gonna see how pigmented this is. Okay, yeah, definitely very pigmented, which is really nice. So I think next I'm gonna go into Garnish, which is, so we started off with this guy right here, and now we're gonna go into this shade. That is not super duper different, so I think I'm gonna go into Dry Vermouth instead, which is the really dark olivey green. We'll just put that on instead, see if that does different. think that worked out a little bit better. It blended together nicely as well. I just wasn't noticing, like, I think for whatever reason, this shade Garnish right here is like, somehow doesn't look that different from this guy or this guy when you layered on top of either of them. And so the dry vermouth one is the one that I needed to create like a stark transition of color. But if you're wanting to like have the colors be like more of the same as you go and create a really flawless blend, then I think it was a good choice to have that in there. I like having very bold color changes. So I think the last shade that I'm gonna go into is going to be the Mix It Up shade, which is this navy blue. Yeah, I think that's going together really nicely. I will also say, so I didn't want this to be like super duper fall, which is why I added that blue, but if you were wanting to keep this more grungy fall, they do have a really nice brown that would have worked in the outer corner instead, and I think that would have kept it really grungy fall. I just wanted to add in the blue because I've been doing a lot of fall looks lately, and so I wanted to do something that was a little bit more like not fall. Yeah, so to continue that trend, I think what I'm gonna do is for the under eye, I'm gonna start with Classic, which is this kind of teal blue, and then we will blend that back into Mix It Up, which is that navy shade. Wow, this teal blue is very pigmented. That is awesome. Okay, I think that's coming together really, really nice. So now we're gonna go into the shimmer shades. So I think we're gonna start off with Vodka-tini, which is this lighter kind of limey shade to start. And then we're gonna go in with the blue that is the gin shade, because I do want to kind of keep this a little bit lighter. I don't want it to be a hugely, I mean, it's already a smoky eye, but like, see if I can keep it a little less than that. I think this is blending together. Those two shimmers are going together very, very nicely, and it helped to like lighten up the eye look just ever so slightly. So I think for the inner corner, I think we'll just go into On the Rocks, which is this guy right here. That went on lovely, and just ever so tiny, a couple glitter specks, but almost no fallout. So that was really, really nice. So I think I'm gonna tightline, throw mascara on, and then we will come back for the Margherita eye. Okay, so this eye is done, and now we are going to move on to the Margherita eye, and then I will come in close so that you guys can see the final product with all of the shimmers on both of my eyes, and then I will give my final thoughts. So let us just jump right in to this rainbow color story. So I think what I'm actually gonna end up doing on this eye, I like how, so it's a rainbow palette, right? I'm gonna find a way to turn this into a neutral, because I'm gonna take this kind of more mustardy yellow, and then I'm gonna take the blood orange shade, and then this brown, and then I'm gonna layer the pineapple and this metallic on it. So it's gonna end up being a very fall look. Here we go. So we're going into that Tasty Mango, which is the more like mustardy shade. Now I'm gonna go into the blood orange shade. I know oranges can be difficult sometimes with my particular skin tone, that they have a tendency to just kind of want to blend in, and I think upon initial application this one is kind of similar to that effect that I get with a lot of oranges, but it is slowly layering to a more pigmented color. But it would have been nice if it was like immediately pigmented, because the tangy, or yeah, the Tasty Mango shade is a very nice pigmented yellow. And so I just kind of wish this was maybe for a blood orange, like a bit more orangey. If that makes sense. All right, so now we're going into Shot Time, which is that brown matte shade. Yeah, you can kind of see that after adding in that brown shade, that the brown and orange almost kind of blend together. Whereas on this side, like, you have definitive colors going along here. With this one, it's just kind of like a bit of yellowish and then into orangey brown. And so I do kind of wish that that blood orange shade was a little bit more like in your face. So now for the under eye, I think I'm gonna keep it the same color story as like what's going on the top, just that we're gonna go into a bit more of the pinky and red shades. So we're gonna do Watermelon first, which is this shade right in the middle, and then we're gonna go into this deeper red on the side here to blend out with that brown. So the strawberry red also pulls a little bit more on the pink side than like a blood red type of shade. All right, so then for the shimmers, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the fresh pineapple, blend it in with the tequila gold, and then on the inner corner we're gonna do that pink. Yep, so it's gonna be the pineapple shade, then the brown shade, and I think for the inner corner we're gonna go in with the pink lemonade shade. This pineapple shade is pigmented. It's very nice. Interesting. So the brown, as I was putting it on, definitely does not appear as deep of a brown as it does in this swatch. So that's kind of interesting. I would have thought it would be slightly deeper, but it's still very nice, and it blends together with that yellow shade really, really nicely. All right, and then the inner corner, we're gonna do that pink lemonade shade. Not quite as sparkly as I would like. I'm gonna try the prickly pear shade instead, which is this guy down here. See if I get a better effect with that one. Yeah. That's more of what I was wanting. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna tight line and throw mascara on my second eye, and then we will come in close so you guys can see all of the different shimmers and the effects of the colors and the blend and everything, and then I will give my final thoughts. All right, and we're back with the final look, so I'm gonna come in close so you guys can take a look at everything. So here we have the two different eye looks with all of the shimmers and the blends of the mattes. And I really like how both eyes turned out. I know I'm always preferential to like my greens and blues, but I think both eyes turned out really, really nice. And I think that it's kind of interesting that you can almost, like, you could theoretically make a neutral eye with the most colorful palette that they have. So I think that's kind of funny. But I think both eyes turned out really, really nice. So I would love to know what you guys think. I think formula-wise, I don't know if it's just that I literally finished playing with 3 different Beauty Bay palettes, that particular formula is just really standing out to me as being super similar to the GlamLite formula, but I just can't get over, I'm literally like, it's like the same formula. So I think that the shades are different that they're coming up with, and so I don't think it's so much of like duping. I think it's more so just if you enjoy the GlamLite formula, you will also enjoy the Beauty Bay formula and vice versa. So just more so like if you enjoy the color stories, because I haven't seen any that really are standing out to me as like the same thing, but just formula wise, if you like one, you're gonna like the other, guaranteed. So just something to keep in mind, because Beauty Bay is super inexpensive as well. So I don't know why this has suddenly become Not sponsored by either. Throwing that one out there. So I would love to know what you guys think of either look. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video, thumbs down if you did not. Let me know if you guys picked up any of the Happy Hour palettes, what you guys think of them. I know it's a huge shock probably that I didn't pick up the purple wine one, but I kind of felt like I have so many purple palettes at this point that I just really didn't need that. But I really like the Dirty Martini palette. I think that the color story is really fun. And if you just want a solely neutral palette, probably that chocolate martini one would be a perfect one because it's got really nice blends of different browns. So let me know what you guys think. Did anyone grab the lip bundle? I did not grab it, but I thought it looked super cute, and so if any of you guys did end up picking up that bundle, I would love to know what you thought of it and if it was worth it or not. And if you made it to the end of the video and you've not yet subscribed, I would love it if you would subscribe. Come join my family on here. We talk about indie brands, tons of colorful makeup, clearly a lot of color. So I would love it if you would join my family on here. Just talk lots and lots of makeup. And other than that, you guys just go have a good one.